But let's take a quick look on the highlights. It started off with this first unbelievable round where Beast got that first pistol.
Well, Beast was able to get a triple finisher on the immediate round. Side B was under their control, but the side switched in no time, where we were just on the verge of announcing. But Ghost, with this immediate wit, he was able to play with the flash and also get the frag. It was 1 versus 5 when Hats was put to shut down. But every single time, talking about Orangutan in particular, they did consume a lot of time to decide on which side do they need to go to avoid any casualties. And once you start to lose the players, you definitely get weakened, and Team Orangutan made sure of they never get weak. Trick at this point of time had total of 3 flags for himself, lost the round, but this stranger play with a shorty, it was amazing as well.
The thrifty being pulled here was just brilliant. And I just feel a little bit bad over here in terms of trying to make it work, but nonetheless it does happen, right? That you kind of are confused, players coming in from every direction, and then you kind of give away the round. Nonetheless, there was a great comeback as well as a push-up, because you see, first there was a lead that was gained from Orangutan, which was then regained back and then denied for Orangutan for a couple of rounds, and then Orangutan, they themselves rose and took up the opportunity of denying them. But in the first half, it was confusion roads everywhere, right? Whenever the round started, there was a smoke, a player playing around the smoke, then there's another player who's already pushed up from a different position, maybe in a backstab, maybe on the lurk. These kind of plays were being done, but Trick, he was good with that operator. I think it was just the immediate second frag that he was whenever looking forward to go to, he was getting punished. But still, there was a round where he did make it work for his team with that Blade Storm, clutched that and pulled out a shorty and got that round, and also the team a breathing chance of maybe making it their way into the closer lineup, or maybe even pushing themselves to victory, but it was a little bit too early on, Tanya.
Absolutely, they had to do it. And talking about Shooter, he also has enough patience to just wait and watch and to do some opponent to make a move and then retaliate and get the finisher. Talking about Tesseract here, this scene, see, every single scene is like reliving the moment of the map of heaven. Few predictions did not work as planned, and few predictions were just on point about how the longest flank worked. Some 1v3 clutches happening, some aftershocks being utilized immediately to just push through, to just run over the opponents and win the round. So everything that was done, few definitely looked planned, but out of few, see, Stranger holding this angle, planting for long, and then holding this angle. It was totally unplanned move, because nobody would want to hold that angle, but he was very sure of. And here I did say that Cypher's cage was revealed. Indeed, I would say Soa's dart worked wonder.
Yes, I mean, that was just brilliant timing of the recon. But this, where Beast was on the lurk and he was looking forward to this backstab, I mean, he could have done it here. Unfortunately, it did not work out. That lurk could have paid so much in terms of dividends. It did not work out, but look at this. This is the counter Hunter Fury. They used the Rolling Thunder to gain access to the side, but as soon as the call was there that majority of the players are in garage, that Hunter's Fury worked wonders, and they immediately got that round, and there was nothing they could have done on top of it. But the opportunity where Shooter just sliced and diced here with those blades, which is just looking brilliant. But yes, he did go down to Beast, but Beast was stuck right next to the Radiant box, and how much could he have done? He did get the information. How will the next map play? But right now, before that, we are going to be quickly taking a look at the highlights. The start was kind of already dominant from the side of Orangutan. On their attacking half, they were so goddamn brilliant. It was a 9-3 close, but there were some, I would say, weird plays being done from Prime 5 to try and get things under control, but unfortunately none of them worked.
Actually, at like maximum times, it went in the favor of Orangutan, not getting up that particular rounds which they wanted for sure. And actually, to be honest, Orangutan, each and every player did an individual gameplay with that. They did not let a single player from the side of Prime 5 to get a control over their team. And over this side, even also when they entered in the attackers side, when Orangutan were in the first half, but eventually when you talk about Ghost played a major role in the victory of Orangutan in this map of Ascent. I would say that because in each and every round you will not see a single round in which Ghost haven't got a single pick for himself, but this round of Shooter, what he did was berserk at that point. He got one, he moved to the second, he was standing on that swamp grenade, he dashed inside the side, he got another one and got the 3k to secure the round for the side of Orangutan. Eventually the side like this one as well. Who would have thought that there might be a single players standing in that particular position?
I mean, that play itself of the defenders pushing up from A main, 3 players together from Orangutan and then taking a player out, and they're known for that, to check every nook and corner. They've made those mistakes on Haven, and it feels like Orangutan have learned from that. Those mistakes have been countered, and here again Shooter went up. He thought Hatch should be heading from a different direction, but Hatch was ready for the fight. He did take down him, but Vibor was also there ready to take that trade off. But this play coming in, Beast, the way he was able to clutch this round, it was just unbelievable. I mean, the chaos already stuck in his mind. There were 3 players who were trying to take and make sure they regain control and get that match point. They tried to delay it as much as possible, and Beast did do a fantastic job. But here, that point where he was about to put that lockdown gets denied through the spray, through that wall. Unfortunately, 3k, 4k, 3k, 4 or 5 rounds is the number of times that he got a 4k and a 3k. Look at this, 4k. He was one short of an ace, but does not matter. That was just too damn good to watch, and we were all just looking at awe.
Well, my awe moment came exactly at 13-0 score line. I was left speechless, but Tesseract with the Hunter's Fury, never did he waste his Hunter's Fury. He was at least able to get that single frag, and it doesn't usually happen. You tend to see after 5 to 6 Hunter's Fury coming into the action, you tend to miss at least one. But I think he is the master of this agent, and I really would love to see him furthermore into the next phases with the same pattern, with the same progress. And look at this 4k and ace. I feel bad for him for a while that his ace was taken away a little farther at a little farther distance.
Oh yes, I mean, I'm gonna be a little bit sad, but as you said, look at this. Every time we see a Hunter's Fury being popped off, it's generally that players just clear out a couple of angles and give space for the teammates to enter. But Tesseract is a player who does not use the Hunter's Fury just to clear things. But this is a round where I thought there's going to be a heavy ultimate commitment coming through, because this was a 4 spy coming from Prime 5, but it did not happen that way because the Shooter's ultimate was not at all presumed. He used the ultimate immediately as soon as the barrier dropped, and then there was another utility, that ultimate commitment and that incendiary that we saw from Brimstone, and Vibor getting that round clutched. And again, look at that Tesseract, the timing, the way he's able to push up. He gets that 2 players down before the smoke gets propped up from his own teammate, and to end the round he gets the 3k for his team, and then that's done. Another point on the board, and look at this positioning. Somewhere we felt like Shooter messing it up, missing the opportunity. That should have been their first round. Look at them, they got the numbers under control, but then everything started falling apart just because of that Seekers. Seekers gave away the complete info from the directions of these players who were in, and this round where Beast had read it right but missed the opportunity of capitalizing on that first duel.
Absolutely, and you don't have to miss anything, and Shooter knocking the last player